Needless to say, this week has been an interesting week. And I personally love an underdog story. I mean, who doesn't? And this time, Main Street beat the Wall Street at their own game. As we were going through this week, I was debating if I should make a video about this because there are a lot of videos explaining what's going on and there's a lot of news coverage and articles about it. And I decided to talk about it, but from a different perspective. For years, Wall Street has been using this strategy to manipulate the market and made a big profit out of it. And this time around, Main Street has turned the table and beat the Wall Street at their own game. Of course, we all know how Wall Street felt about it and their attempts to regulate us so we can't be in the game anymore and they can go back to their old games without anyone watching. As much as this story gave me the feeling of, yes, it also bugged me thinking about what will happen next. I think it is wonderful that we got a chance to make money and a lot of people turned their $1,000 to $10,000 and $10,000 to $100,000. And if you did make money in the past week, I congratulate you, and I think it is wonderful that you made extra profit out of the event that happened last week. But it also begs the question, what now? Although I think it is a good thing that you 10 times your money overnight, but the danger of it is that people get used to getting 100% return overnight, getting 1,000% return for the course of a couple days. And now you look back at a 10% annual return on an average performance, people are just not satisfied. In order for them to get the same type of return, they have to take on a lot higher risk. Just look at the margin debt right now. It is at all-time high, and that is a time bomb for the near future. For the past couple years, the stock market has been performing really well. And despite the drop in March 2020, the stock market has been reaching all-time highs every other day in 2020. And now this happened. I think it is important for us to realize that trading is not investing. As much as I would love to see everybody 10 times their money every other day, this is simply not realistic. Remember, investing is you putting money into companies that you believe in, who you want to see to grow, and they are doing well financially. At this point, I think it is very much like you doubling your money at a roulette table, and you have a decision to make to either throw everything you have back onto the table or take your profit and leave while you're still ahead. Although it seems like the stock market will never come down, but it's like everything else in the world. It goes in circles. It's only a matter of time of when the bubble will burst. And when it does, the one who hurts the most are people like you and I. And if you are taking on debt to bet in stock market, it will be difficult for you to dig yourself out of that situation. Here are a couple things I think everybody should do to protect themselves and to protect their money. Although the stock is not the company itself, it should be a representation of the company and its value. So if you were to invest in a specific company, make sure you do your due diligence and see how the company is doing, who's running the ship, and how is its potential as far as the future growth. So even if you can't expect every company's stock to grow like Tesla or what GameStop just did last week, you can expect a steady growth, therefore a good long-term investment for yourself to hold. Number 2, set up a boring schedule and follow it. I personally don't like to chase stocks, and I don't like to buy and sell stocks very often. Maybe I'm not smart enough to do those things on a regular basis, but I just simply feel like I don't have the time and resources to make a smart decision to outperform the stock market. So what I do, and I believe will be beneficial for a lot of people, is to set a schedule and follow it consistently. What I do is I transfer same amount of money to my investment account every Tuesday and I buy same stocks every Tuesday. It doesn't matter if the stock market is up or down or any specific stock is trendy or hot or everybody is buying or selling. I just do what I do every Tuesday, and I don't change the amount of money. I don't change the time. I just set it automated and I forget about it. So for me, I tend not to get into the conversation with people about trendy stock or what everyone else is buying. And it seems pretty boring, but I feel like it's been working out pretty well for me. At the end of the day, I think buying consistently and time in the market will outperform people who buy and sell on a regular basis. And number 3, don't sell. So about 10 years ago, that's when I first learned about investing and stock market, but I didn't know anything about it at the time. I was just a student. I didn't have money. I didn't understand how the stock market worked. So I talked to someone who I trust and who I knew at the time was investing. So the advice he gave me is to take out some imaginary money, let's say $1,000, and pick a couple companies that I'm interested in and write down their trading price and pretend I'm buying shares out of my $1,000 into those company stocks. And over the time, track the price and performance of those companies and see how my imaginary $1,000 initial investment was doing. And I remember at the time thinking, wow, those stocks are so expensive. I can never afford to buy stocks at this price. And now I still have the notebook and I look back to the price that I was tracking over the time, and now they seem so cheap and wish I did buy some stocks back then. And that taught me a lesson, which is in the short term, the stock price goes up and down and it will always seem expensive in that moment. But in the long run, it always grows higher. So don't wait for the right moment. Don't wait for the crash to come. Don't wait for the price to drop. It's always better to buy today. So these are my tips and strategy, and my strategy will always remain the same. It doesn't matter if it's year 2020 or 2021 or 2030. It's always being educate yourself, knowing what you're doing, and buy, hold, don't sell, and be consistent. I hope this video helped to remind you that do not get caught in the trend. Protect yourself and protect your money. Be a smart investor. With that being said, let's go buy some stocks. All right, bye. Oh, before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next week. Bye.